Hello, everyone. This is the Horsemen Hangout for March the 17th, 2015. I messed the date up in the title of the YouTube clips. I'll have to edit that. But anyway, I am your host, Justin. Along with me is three men. We are missing Mr. Ryan tonight. He had a prior engagement, but a lot to talk about tonight. As you guys know, it is St. Patrick's Day, so I have my Phillies mug and I got my beer. It's not green, but it's good. So, cheers to all you Irish out there. I'm not Irish. I think Mr. Lane might have a little bit of Irish in him.
I think I do, but I'm not dressed for the part, man. I just had a hard day's work today, man. I mean, crazy.
I heard you have a great step or grandfather named Seamus Lane. Is that true?
I don't know about that, man. That's up for debate, man. I don't know.
And joining us also is the fifth seat of the Horseman Hangout, Stephen Page. You got some Irish in you, don't you?
Yes, I do. My grandfather was his last name was O'Reilly, so you can't get much Irish than that.
There you go. And you know, there's a lot of Irish people from where you're from. I'm sure up in that area.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Z, who is not Irish, but he's wearing his green Phillies hat there down in the Horseman Hangout. What's up?
That's right. I get to wear this hat a couple days a year, so I figured might as well wear it on the show. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Let me throw something your way. You're wearing the Phillies hat, and I got my Phillies mug here. How do you feel about Cliff Lee going on the 60-day DL? Was that a real punch in the gut to you, Mr. Z?
Yeah, it's sad because we all know, whether you're a Phillies fan or not, we all know that when Cliff Lee's healthy, he's one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, one of the best left-handers in the game over the past decade, Cy Young Award winner in 2008, and all the fanfare that came with the Phillies bringing him back for the 2011 season, and to see it end like this, it's just sad.
It is sad. It's sad, and we wish Cliff the best. You know, selfishly, I wanted him to get better so we could trade him, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So, got to make do with what we have now, I guess. But, that's that. I saw Mr. Mike Trout from Millville hit 2 home runs today. Mr. Lane, I don't know if you follow preseason baseball, but let me bring up the stat. If you're into, like, slash lines, I don't know if you're familiar with the term slash lines. Mike Trout this spring, albeit it's only 22 at bats, is hitting .545. His on base is .630.
Wow.
I think you pissed somebody off.
Oh boy, not again.
Oh,
Here, there's Z again.
Hey,
Good.
Jerry from Heavyweights. All right.
am I freezing it all again?
You were for a minute there, buddy. You were saying stats about Trout this summer. He was batting like 540 something, and then
Yeah.
he froze.
What can we expect from Mike Trout this year that he hasn't already done?
You know what? I think his numbers are going to be very solid. You know, Albert Pujols has a lot of praise for him too. I know. Yes, I think he did hit a home run against a former Philly by the name of Cliff. I think Cliff Lloyd. I think it is. You know, he used to pitch for the Phillies. But anyway, you know, I think Trout's going to be an excellent player this year, no doubt. But you know, he'll be very good. And
Buy or sell Mike Trout winning his second MVP this year?
I buy it. Absolutely. I don't know if there's anybody else. I think the only other threat in that category would be Miguel Cabrera, probably. But I don't know about Miguel Cabrera because Victor Martinez, who was supposed to be one of his players in the lineup, I think he got hurt. So that's going to be a little bit of a blow for the Tigers going forward. And I'm wondering if there's anybody else in the American League that could be a threat to Mike Trout potentially in the MVP. Let me think.
Well, you spoke about injury.
Red Sox, I know that.
Red
What's
Sox.
that?
I mean, who could be an MVP candidate for the Red Sox? I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't know. It doesn't look very
they
good.
have they're going to be a good team this year, but they don't have anybody that just jumps out and says MVP to me.
If Adam Jones puts together another good year, he has MVP potential.
Yeah, with the O's there.
That's
Yeah,
a good. That's an underrated, very good pick there, Z. I think that's a very good pick that you just said, Adam Jones. But if there's a sleeper, but I think there's going to be more of an expectation for him now. And I'm going to say, and here's a sleeper I'm going to say the defending American League champion Royals. Either Hosmer or Alex Gordon, one of those guys.
Gordon,
I think those two guys are pretty solid. Alex Gordon's one of the more underrated left fielders in the game. He's an excellent defender, Gold Glove winner, probably one of the best defenders that people don't talk about. I mean, if you try to go for the extra base against Alex Gordon, he's got an excellent arm and he's an excellent defender. So
Hey,
I'm just yeah.
I'll throw out two names for you. Texas Rangers, even though he's getting old. How about Adrian Beltre? And Seattle Mariners, even though he's getting old, Robinson Cano. Just throwing out some names there.
Those aren't bad names. Very good. I agree with you there, Jesse. Very good, man.
Hey, now that we're on the baseball talk, let's go NL. Who do you have as wow, this is messed up. Yes, as NL MVP. Z.
Who? National League MVP? Well, I'll start with Andrew McCutchen. I think the Pirates are going to be, definitely back in the playoff mix this year. There's a lot of hype about their outfield. They got three, very talented players out there, and McCutchen, he's the heart and soul of that Pittsburgh Pirates team. I'm not going to acknowledge anyone from the team from Washington, but I'll stick with Andrew McCutchen as my MVP pick.
Okay, fair enough. I think Clayton Kershaw may take home another MVP here. The Dodgers are going to be tough to handle. But, that's a tough division with the Padres. Anyway, let's talk baseball. We get a little closer. Maybe we'll have a MLB preview episode in a few weeks here before opening day. But let's talk a little Monday Night Raw. I'll just like to say that I think this build to WrestleMania has been one of the weakest. I don't think the card is necessarily that bad. Like, the matches I'm kind of looking forward to. I'm not, dreading it, but still not getting me too excited for it. Now, I wanted to get Stephen Page's his ideas on this. I saw on Raw they signed the contract between Rusev and Cena. That may end up being one of the first matches on the card. It's one of the, but
yeah, that Rusev.
Why in the world? No, let me ask you something. Why in the world, if you know that Rusev is mostly over? No, he's not over, but Lana is a main reason why people care about Rusev. Why would they put her in the WWE Studios film and take her off television? Why would they do that?
I don't know. I don't get it. And they could have picked somebody that didn't look like the friggin' Russian Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, I just
I mean, even the announce team. I mean, he didn't even sound Russian, and I don't think that was the purpose. So why put him out there? Why can't you get somebody that can do a good Russian accent? I mean, I'm sure there's thousands of people you could have hired to do a better job than that.
WWE has a long history of hiring other ethnicities and races to do opposite races and ethnicities. They always do that, and they always pick people that can't impersonate. I mean, it's just funny. Actually, one of the trivia questions this week is about something like that, but I don't know why Vince doesn't ever hire that race or ethnicity. He always, like Rusev's not actually Russian, I don't think. I think he's something else.
Yeah, I think he's
Bulgarian.
Yeah, and Lana isn't either, I don't think.
She's American.
I'm pretty sure she's
in Russia.
from America.
Yeah, but she lived in Russia, so she's familiar with it.
Yeah. Well, she went to Florida State originally, and then she did go to Russia to learn a little bit of the culture too. So that just adds to her character, basically. She was originally, she did go to Florida State, by the way. So I do know that.
That's her story then.
Mr. Lane, you would know since you are Rusev Lane. That is your dialect.
Yes.
Is that a partner with that we're
Mr. Lane?
Rusev Lane, I'll save that maybe for next week. I don't want to do the Rusev Lane mode yet. Not yet. Not right now.
All right.
Let's see.
Also on Raw last night, I didn't see this live, but I saw the replay of it. Sting made a surprise appearance. Nice to see him in the ring, built for that Triple H match. I'm looking forward to the match. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be nice. I got to see a Stinger splash. It looked like you did in TNA, so I'm looking forward to it. Mr. Z, your take on this Triple H Sting matchup here? Are you excited, giddy?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, there's I'll agree with what you said. The build for WrestleMania this year has been subpar in my opinion. I'm looking forward definitely to Sting and Triple H. Just seeing Sting in a WWE ring, let alone seeing Sting at WrestleMania, is going to be something the fans have wanted for a long time, and probably something that's going to be pretty cool. People give Triple H a bad rap because he's the guy in charge and some of the decisions that he makes professionally, but the man can still wrestle, and when he does wrestle, he's pretty damn good at it. So I'm a huge Triple H fan as far as his in-ring stuff, and I'm definitely looking forward to that match. I think it has potential to be one of the best on the card.
Triple H guy, are you looking forward to the Triple H match at WrestleMania? And if so, who wins?
So anything to do with Triple H, I'm going to know. The thing with Triple H is, the thing is funny that people like to diss on Triple H, but in the same sense, the IWC needs to praise Triple H for what he's done down in NXT, but then they still bash him for being married to the boss's daughter. Well, you know what? Who cares? Who cares who he's married to? I mean, I get it. It has some effect on the company, but in the same sense, you know what? A lot of people like to throw that he's only there. Well, you don't have 3 kids with somebody that you don't love. You don't have a respect for. You don't have a relationship with, just so you can be the CEO of a $1 million company. That's just, I don't see that when I hear Triple H in interviews, and he doesn't do many interviews. He actually calls in every year to one of the radio stations in New Hampshire where he's from, and it's really like him. Like, he's not in character. He's not the CEO. It's just him, and he's a very humble guy. He's nice. He's very respectful of the business. You can tell that. And on DVDs, you can tell that he has a respect for professional wrestling.
You have some Triple H DVDs there?
I do. I did have his DVDs, but now that I have the network, I can watch it anytime for $9.99.
How much?
$9.99.
All right.
And if you have $9.98, you're shit out of luck.
I'm gonna let Mr. Lane comment before our special guest is almost ready to arrive. I've been notified, but I was gonna go to Miss. Well, you know what? No, we'll save that. Let's talk a little NFL, okay? What do you have on the boogie board there, Mr. Lane? Did you write something on the boogie
Well,
board?
I just did the $9.99, just like Steve just said, for $9.99 for the WWE Network.
Let me get my 2 cents in before I turn it over to you three. Last week I came on the show and I was very upset with Chip Kelly. I thought that the Foles for Bradford deal was idiotic, stupid. Having said that, if I can separate the 2 weeks, that deal, which might be one of the worst in Eagles history, if it works out that way, to this week where I'm happy with how things turned out, even though I don't know how much is Chip Kelly's control, but getting DeMarco Murray, Mr. Z's ex-running back, and Ryan Matthews, it's going to be a lot of people in the backfield, but I think they'll put all those guys to use. So he kind of explained it by getting rid of McCoy, saving some money. You're able to get Murray. Maybe he massaged the numbers a little bit. Maybe that's not entirely true. They still have $8 million of cap space. On around the horn. But I'm happy with what we had last week. So I'm a little more positive going into the draft. I will turn over to Mr. Lane, and then I'll get Mr. Z's thoughts on this. What do you think about the Eagles' moves this week?
You know what? I'm surprised and then not surprised that DeMarco Murray is now an Eagle now, but Z and I had conversations ourselves that that the franchise player or the franchise tag for the Cowboys at the time was Dez Bryant, which I think was a smart move. Dez Bryant is a better player, I think, on the Cowboys than DeMarco Murray is in the long run. Although DeMarco Murray had an excellent season last year, but now I think it was a good move. But then I heard that according to my sources anyway, from what I've read and heard, is that Sam Bradford and DeMarco Murray were college roommates at the University of Oklahoma, if I'm correct. So they were college roommates. So I'm not surprised, too much by this deal at all. I'm not really surprised about it, but I think it was a good move by the Eagles. I mean, that's good for them, but they need to draft defense. Do not go after Mariota. They need to draft defense.
Yeah, I would love a safety.
Exactly.
I'd like a wide receiver too, but hey, Mr. Z, how do you feel about the Murray? You guys also got Darren McFadden. I think he's going to do a lot better in Dallas. But what are your thoughts on McFadden and Murray and how things?
I'm sad to see DeMarco Murray go. He was, great running back, definitely a big component to the Cowboys the past few years. And from all intents and purposes, a very good teammate in the locker room. That's where I think I'll miss him the most. He was very close with Tony Romo and Dez Bryant and Jason Witten, especially Jason Witten. They worked out together in the off seasons. But there's that stat out there about running backs after that particular workload that DeMarco got last year, how they break down. I'm sad to see him go. I won't root for him anymore, obviously. But I don't think the moves the Eagles made make them any better, regardless of the Murray signing. Sam Bradford's a terrible quarterback, and in my opinion, in order for your team to succeed, it starts with the quarterback. Bradford's awful, and I just love how Eagles fans were jumping off the Chip Kelly ship, and then they signed DeMarco Murray, and that instantly makes things better. Riley Cooper is your number one wide receiver. Let that sit in for a little bit. And Sam Bradford's your quarterback. And as far as I'm concerned, with the Cowboys, I don't like Darren McFadden. I think he will be better with the Cowboys, but I don't think he's a suitable replacement for Murray. I think you'll see the draft. Hopefully they take a running back in the draft. But as far as I'm concerned, the NFC East still runs through Dallas with Murray or not. Best quarterback in the division, best wide receiver in the league, best offensive line in the league. And if we sign Greg Hardy, which is the rumor, look out.
All right. Well, I love Z's Cowboy passion. Love it, man.
Sure.
I loved it. I loved it.
Hey, he's got that passion. He's got that fire. So
yes, he does. I mean, that was good stuff. I mean, as far as the Cowboys are concerned, I just want to ask one little question now.
Sure.
How much do you think Darren McFadden will contribute to the Dallas Cowboys this year? I heard you just say that the Cowboys might try to get themselves a running back in the draft potentially. Now that DeMarco Murray is gone. Now McFadden, he used to run for, I believe,
Oakland.
Oh boy, no. I remember the college that he went to.
Arkansas.
It was Arkansas, but yeah. I want to know how much does he have left in the tank? How much do you think he'll contribute this year?
Here's the thing with Darren McFadden, and it's interesting because it seems like he's been in the league for a long time, which I believe he's been in the league since 2008. He's only 27 years old. He's the same age as DeMarco Murray. And his numbers have been limited because of injuries. So he's not as worn down as other running backs his age who've been in the league that long. Here's the thing with McFadden. I'm not crazy about him, but I think he can succeed with our offensive line.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind there, Z.
It'll definitely be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting to see what they do.
All right.
Wait a minute, guys. Hang on just 1 second. I think our special guest is arriving. Do you hear the music?
No.
Do you hear the music? Our special guest.
No.
Where is wait, what is this? What is special guest?
Hello.
What is going on here?
Hello, Juicy.
You?
Special guest. How have you
Can
been, buddy?
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes. Yes.
How have you been, buddy?
I'm doing spectacular. How are you doing, Juicy?
Oh man, I'm so happy to see you that I'm crying, tears of joy.
I tell you, I went out to the local Best Buy. I picked up this webcam for $49, and I got it. It doesn't work to my liking. But we're great to be here, guys. It's great to be on the Hangout. Yeah, it's been a while. And hello.
No,
Hello.
you're still connected.
Hello.
You're still connected.
Am I on the air?
Special guest, your lighting is kind of poor in your apartment there. What's going on?
Hello. Hey guy.
Special guest. Yeah, let's get your thoughts.
That's all. I can't. No, I bought it for $49. I don't need. Samantha, Lucha is when. Hello. We are live. Hi, guys.
What's that? What's that, special guest? What do you got there?
A brewski. It's so good to be on the Hangout. Let me tell you something. It has been a long time coming since I have been here, and let me tell you what I found is the time away has been.
That's a paper.
Oh no.
Time away has been very, very, very depressing.
This guy just come out.
I do love the cool. I do love the cool breeze of a cool camel on a warm spring night. Ooh, how I love my Lucha Underground on a cool spring night.
I'm dying. Oh man.
How have you guys been?
I'm good. We missed you.
Happy to see that Mr. Zorzai is here.
Come back.
You see anybody else here, special guest, that you remember?
Hi, Mr. Lane.
What's up, Ben? What's up, bro? What's up?
Been a while.
Yes, it has.
And now have I converted you to total nonstop action? You're still watching that WW crap.
I'm still watching the WWE, or however, I'd still be looking forward to watching the Lucha Underground if I could find the channel to it.
Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock, the El Rey Network. I've told you this numerous times, Mr. Lane. You have to watch Lucha Underground. Steve, tell them. Steve, I've told you countless times. Tell them Lucha Underground, will you?
I don't have Lucha Underground.
What? Hello.
Special guest, when me and Justin were in Clearwater for our vacation to watch the Phils in spring training, you'd be happy to know that we did watch Lucha Underground in our hotel room.
Yes, we saw.
What did you think, Mr. Zorzai?
It was all right. Alberto Del Rio was in a match against.
No. It was Alberto El Patron, not Del Rio.
I believe the pronunciation is Alberto El Patron. El Patron.
Yeah, right. You always correct it. I forgot.
You roll the R's, Juicy.
Right. You're right. You're always right. By the way, I think
Steve, I was tweeting you today, and I just found you to be incredibly rude. I don't know why, but you seem rude, and it's something that I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate rudeness. Actually, I blocked. You know what? I won't mention the man's name, but I blocked him recently, and for rudeness. And Steve, I just need you to clean up your act.
Can I ask you guys what your thoughts about a subject that I don't know if you talked about in the Hangout last week when I wasn't able to get on, but what are your thoughts on the whole? I'll start with a mystery guest, or special guest, I should say. What are your thoughts on the whole Bill DeMott NXT departure?
Good question.
Hey, Bill DeMott. Hey, it ain't ballet. It ain't ballet. Wrestling is tough. Okay, you get a concussion. Let me tell you something. I've been in the workforce for 31 years. 31 years been in the workforce. You know how many guys? Now, Steve, listen. Steve, listen. Do you know how many guys slammed me on the head when I was doing a poor job? You do a poor effort, you're going to get slammed in the head. Hey, it ain't ballet. You need to suck it up. Take your rape, whatever it may be, and enjoy what comes of it. So in terms of what these guys, these scandal, this frame situation against Bill DeMott, I just have to say 2 words. Wrestling matters. Okay, wrestling matters, and by all means necessary, abuse, rape, abuse, rape, head and they're concussed. It matters. Wrestling still matters overall. Deal with it.
Steve, do you have a reaction to that? A reply to that?
What do you think, Mr. Lane?
Well, I thought it was very interesting. It was very interesting, controversial move. You had some wrestlers that were trying to defend Bill DeMott, and for those that don't know who Bill DeMott is,
rightfully so, Mr. Lane.
Hold on, special guest. You've done this in the past. Let's let Mr. Lane finish. Okay.
Well, for those that don't remember who Bill DeMott is, he used to be known as Hugh Morris in WCW. That's the deal with with Bill DeMott. So he was a trainer for NXT, and that's who he was.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
But
Steve,
it was a controversial move, but it had to be done. That's all.
let me just add that NXT is going to be coming to Philly, the ECW Arena soon. But Steve, what are your thoughts on this situation and the trainer that got tossed here?
Well, I feel, yeah, all right. We lived in a society back in the day where a lot of things went unsaid, and, I'm not condoning the actions of Bill DeMott. I think, if you disgrace somebody as a human being, and there's one thing to, toughen them up as a wrestler, but if you're disgracing the person as a human being, we're all human beings. We all like wrestling, but I don't think if you're doing things like we've all seen that have been alleged, something about.
Now, Steve, have you ever been in a wrestling ring before?
Well, if this is true, the one thing I read, it was something about Zack Ryder getting stink-faced by Albert with a donut in Albert's rectum.
If I had a nickel of the amount of times a man put his ass in my face, guys, I'd be a rich cowboy. I'd be a rich straw-hat cowboy. Oop, there's the kitty cat. Oop. I'd be rich. I'd be a rich man.
You're thousands of
All right, guest. Let's move on here. After hearing
Juicy, before you move on, I just want to plug the greatest podcast in the world. Steve, listen up. If you want to become a wrestling fan, you have to listen to the podcast of this man right here. Now, can anyone tell me who this is? Can you see?
That's the face known as Jim Ross, yes.
That's right. That is Jim Ross. He is my role model, my idol, my secret lover. And I recommend his podcast. It is informative, and you will learn the real wrestling, not that phony crap the phony crap that you see outside the ring. You're going to see those hard-hitting slobber knocker details in the podcast circle in the ring.
Yes, I listen to that podcast. They're special guest.
I am sorry, Juicy, for cutting you off. Go back to what you were saying.
Oh, all right, we have to gather ourselves here. All right, time to take a little break from the talk here. And by the way, since we were on NXT, did anybody hear about Kevin Owens needing knee surgery? Is this what I hear?
I read about that too. Yes, I did.
That's a shame. I mean, you talk about a guy who's really was on top of NXT and along with Sami Zayn. You know,
Wait, what happened? I did not hear about this. No.
he's getting knee surgery, right? He hurt his knee, and he'll be out for a while.
Yeah, well, he wasn't on crutches. According to a report I read, he wasn't on crutches, but he was on. But he is like rehabbing at the Performance Center. That's the report I read. So he is like rehabbing at the WWE Performance Center. That's what I've heard.
Hopefully, it won't be out too long, but it's unfortunate.
Mr. Lane, have you ever seen 1992 WCW?
Have I seen 1992 WCW? A little bit, man.
Specifically 1992 WCW.
Yes.
Have you?
What kind of question is that, special guest?
Have you?
Yeah, I have, man. I watched WCW back in those days. Yeah.
Okay. I was checking if you were a true fan or just a Johnny come lately.
What do you do? All right. Time to getting a little.
That was the shit right there.
You see my eyes? This is watering because I'm laughing. All right, time to do a little trivia here. It is St. Patrick's Day, so what better way to celebrate St. Patrick's Day to do a little bit of trivia about being green, color green, the international color for the Irish and St. Patrick's Day. So I have 5 questions here. First person to answer the question will be given a point, awarded a point at the end of 5 questions. You know the deal. And question 5 will be a closest to the pin question. I believe last week, I think Mr. Page was our champion. I think he came back in dramatic fashion. But all right, let's get right down to brass tacks here. Special guest, you are allowed to answer also. So,
thank you, Juicy.
Question number 1.
Is there some green in that cigarette?
Question number 1. Who was, now listen to what decade I say, the WWF wrestler in the 90s that spit a green mist while wrestling?
The Great Muda. Muda.
Special guest, I said a WWF wrestler in the 90s.
Oh, I am sorry. I am sorry on that.
Hakushi?
My mother.
Wait, you know what? I need to check with our. I had a different answer. Did Hakushi?
Tajiri?
No, Tajiri was 2000s. Did Hakushi spit green mist?
I don't think so. Well, that's the only wrestler that from the 90s. You said WWF at the time.
The special guest would know something this obscure because
if you want to know the wrestler who spit the green mist,
I have the answer.
I happen to know it's Quang.
That's correct. It is Quang. Who, mystery guest, do you know who Quang actually is?
Well, yes, I do. Quang happen to be a Puerto Rican descent, and he is one Savio Vega.
That's correct. Mystery guest with the special guest gets a point. So I will put mystery guest 1. It is.
What I'm going
to do. A lot of stuff. You must have no life at all.
I don't have much of a life, Zorzai, but I do have this barbecue sauce, and I'm going to do a shot for getting it right. And hey, barbecue sauce is great, but you guys need to try that Chipotle ketchup from JR's barbecue sauce. I have bought. Now listen, guys. I know we are veering off track, but I have bought 3 crates worth of that Chipotle ketchup from Mr. JR, and he has personally giving me a hand job after each one. I drink it as a liquid. I drink it as a thirst quencher.
Special guest, I have a question. How is it possible that you tweeting as we are doing the show? Because you average about one tweet every 5 seconds. So how are you not tweeting right now?
Google Glasses. I own a pair of the Google Glasses, and you can tweet by blinking. I've done that in the past during Lucha Underground, during NXT. That's the only Wednesday Night Wrestling. I tweet, I Google Glass, I do it all. You should too. The end.
All right, question number 2. Who or what team from baseball is the only team with a green baseball?
Who watches sports? I mean, come on.
A green baseball cap.
Who watches sports?
Oakland Athletics.
Oakland A's is correct, Mr. Z.
And special guest, we don't need the attitude when we talk about topics other than wrestling, because you certainly get a little pissy when we don't talk about wrestling all the time. This is a variety show, okay? This is a variety show.
Okay, I respect your opinion, Mr. Zorzai, but speaking of words that rhyme, Zorzai, I see you rolling your eye when I give a response, and don't think that I haven't caught that.
Well, I'm sorry, you're just very long-winded and you tend to pontificate.
Long-winded, huh? Okay.
It's so pitch perfect. I'm sorry. All right. Next question. Question number 3. This might be a little difficult, but let's see if you can get it. Name one of the 2 Disney movies that has the word green in its title.
The Big Green.
Big Green is correct. That was Mr. Z. The other one is The Odd Life of Timothy Green. I looked that up. I didn't even know that was a movie. But
here's a little bit of second trivia for you, for your Better Call Saul / Office fans. In the last season of The Office, Pam goes to Philadelphia to apply for a job, and the boss, played by Bob Odenkirk, is very much like Michael Scott, and he has a poster in his office of The Odd Life of Timothy Green. So I'll throw that one in there.
I didn't know that.
His life.
I didn't know that. All right, question number 4, and by the way, it is 2-1, Mr. Z over the special guest there. All right, question number 4. Name the brand of the iconic American green tractor.
John Deere.
Darn it.
John Deere's correct. Mr. Z.
Special guest is frozen.
Nice call there, Steve. Nice call, man.
I know what you guys are doing.
I didn't do it. It wasn't me, I swear.
Sure.
All right, question number 5.
I did not freeze our special guest. I really did.
Steve, tomorrow's Wednesday. What are you doing tomorrow night? You damn sure should know and respond within a second. Yeah, you know.
I'm watching NXT. I will watch NXT.
Okay, and what else are you watching?
Back of my eyelid, special guest.
Lucha Underground. You're going to watch it. You're going to enjoy it. I just wanted to clarify.
Mystery guest, a special guest. If you like Lucha Underground so much, can you speak any, if at all, Spanish, or are you just, a fake fan? I think you need a new one there. Yeah, I think that one's out.
It's like the Will Smith song. I don't smoke it. I just bite it. It's for the look. I don't light it.
All right.
You don't inhale. We get it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just move on to the last question, even though Mr. Z already clinched here. The band, one of my favorites from the old days, Green Day.
Scoff.
Please give me the number of albums that they sold in their career. Now, this number, I will tell you, is in the millions. So It's in the millions. So give me a closer to the pin number, Mr. Z. I'll let you start.
358 million albums sold.
All right, Mr. Page.
I'm gonna guess 360 million.
Goes the over. All right, Mr. Special Guest.
They the fact that Green Day is going.
I just need an answer.
The fact that Green Day is going into the Hall of Fame before such legendary Seattle acts is mind-boggling. They sold what? I mean, 1,300 albums.
1,300 albums is your guess.
I'll go 1,300.
All right. 1,300 albums. All right, Mr. Lane.
Well, here's my guess. 100
million albums.
100 million. That's
the correct answer was over roughly 75 million albums. So Mr. Lane gets that correct answer there.
Hello.
There you go. The winner of trivia though is Mr. Z. Congratulations, Mr. Z, back on the champion's throne there.
Juicy.
Yeah.
But Ross.
We're losing you.
Juicy. Don't forget tonight's sponsor of the show and trivia, Powerade, Fruit Punch, Sports Drink.
Yes, thank you. I think it's Gatorade actually. Our friends at Gatorade may not like that too much.
I think Mr. Lane's boogie board message says it all, quite frankly.
Yes, it does. He's the winner.
Welcome
To the sponsor of Gatorade, I couldn't afford you.
Mr. Lane.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Do I not get a welcome back?
Welcome back.
It's been a while.
Welcome back.
It's been quite a while.
You've been the most hilarious figure in the Horsemen Hangout tonight. I have to give it to you, man. You're cracking me up. You're cracking Justin up. You're cracking everybody up, man.
What do you like my dollar store?
Barbecue sauce floating in the air.
It's spot on, is what it is. I'll be honest with you. It's very good. So, all right. So there goes trivia. It's 9:47 here. Let's move on. I wanted to veer off some of the sports and wrestling topics, and I wanted to get Mr. Lane's take. I wanted to know if he heard about the announcement from Apple, or the thing that leaked, that they will soon be. They have Apple TV, but soon they will be streaming, like 25 to 30 channels on Apple TV, including HBO for like.
Speaking of apples, Juicy.
Shut up. Shut up.
Stop interfering with all the segments. No one cares. Let him talk.
It's a free country.
How did you just have an apple? This was not planned, by the way. All right, there's an apple right there. By the way, it's gonna cost about $30 to stream this. Now, on what I say is I pay a lot of money for Comcast per month. Now, I don't need most of those channels, so when this comes out, I'm seriously gonna think about doing this. And it's just another way that those guys up in Cupertino, California, are outsmarting everybody else in the market. So hopefully it works out and it's cool. I think that's the wave of the future. I think there won't be much, if any, TV, and you're going to have all streaming services over the internet, like the WWE Network, like everything else you got, Netflix. So by a show of hands, who would be willing to invest or buy this Apple TV at $30 a month over what you're paying? I mean, no, nobody.
The problem is, if you don't have an Apple TV or whatever television you need, do you need a special TV to stream this?
No, I don't think so.
No. You could just put it in. You could just do it. I think it's via the HDMI cable, and you could just connect it from the Apple TV to the HDMI, plug in the Apple TV.
TV, whatever, like the Roku, but it's made by Apple, right?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, does anybody know how much that item is?
The Apple TV, I think the actual device itself is like $60, $70, but then per month it's going to be like $30, I think, or something. I don't know.
Okay, all right. So
But the
70
thing
bucks.
is, it's good, but now that I think of it, the sports thing is going to be weird because I would have to have MLB TV, I'd have to have NFL, and then
Yep.
all the other stuff. So I don't know how it would work, but I'm interested in it. So definitely interested.
The only network you need, Juicy, is, and it pains me to say this because I've ripped them the Kingdom Come, is that WWE network for one sole reason, and that's NXT. You watch that, you get good, solid in-ring action week after week on a consistent basis. Real wrestling, hard-hitting, nose tackling, nose diving action. You get the best week in and week out on that.
Yeah, but you also need your Lucha Underground. We get it, or El Rey Network, whatever the hell it's on.
Now you're learning, Steve.
All right, now Mr. Lane's got on there Apple TV, $69.
That's the price of Apple TV, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure,
I just
special
looked
guest. I think there might be some local wrestling on. You might want to go watch it.
Excuse me.
Say, yeah. So I'll remember that, Steve. Later tonight when I'm in my mood. And
All right, you know what?
I'll be in my mood, and you'll see.
All right. Let me rein this back in. It's time now for I forgot the title of the segment. Mr. Page made it up. It was a good segment. What was it called? I forget.
Theater.
Kayfabe Theater. Okay. I'm gonna throw it out there that if our special guest, since they are a special guest, wants to do the honors of hosting Kayfabe Theater, would you be willing to do that?
Yes, I would, Juicy.
All right. Can I ask the first question? Do you have your superstar or personality in your head?
Well, give me a second. Yes, I do.
All right. My question is it Jim Ross?
You are correct, Juicy.
All right. Cancel that. We're gonna cancel that. We're gonna let Steve do the honors. So Steve, you can take the honors because I knew that was gonna happen.
How did you know that? How did you know?
I have with one. Let me think of one here. Okay, I got one.
There, you got one. Okay. Then we'll start with Z. Do you want to ask the first question?
Sure, I'll ask the first question. Are you an active wrestler?
No, I'm not an active wrestler.
All right.
We'll skip the special guest now, and Mr. Lane, you can ask your question.
Is this wrestler a Hall of Famer?
No, this wrestler is not a Hall of Famer.
Okay. All right. Did this wrestler wrestle the majority of his career in the 90s?
Yes.
Okay, then I keep going. Did this wrestler ever hold the WWE Championship belt?
Yes.
All right. Was this wrestler white man?
Yes.
Let's not make it racial.
Shut up.
Right.
Did this wrestler no. This wrestler have as a finishing move a submission hold?
No.
All right, Z, it goes to you.
Did this wrestler also wrestle for WCW?
Yes.
Did this wrestler ever hold the WCW World Heavyweight title?
No.
All right, we'll give it to special guest here. You get a turn.
Does this wrestler do you tell your stories in the ring, or do you prefer backstage shitty vignettes such as Mae Young with Mark Henry, or do you tell your stories in the ring?
What is this question? I don't.
Yes, he tells the stories in the ring. He's a wrestler. Yes.
Okay. Does your wrestler has your wrestler competed in the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, prior to WCW?
No.
All right.
Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, damn it. Oh,
Mr. Lane. Mr. Lane, you're up.
Damn it.
All right. Let me think of the question. Was this wrestler a former tag team champion?
Yes.
Okay. Ooh, what else? Was he on the first edition of Monday Night Raw?
No.
Darn.
All right. Was this wrestler ever in a faction?
Yes.
All right. Was this wrestler ever in New World Order?
I don't believe so.
All right, Mr. Z.
Is this wrestler still alive?
Yes, very much so.
And just to clarify, we had already said he is not a current WWE Hall of Famer.
No, he's not currently in the WWE Hall of Fame. No.
Okay. 90s WWE champion. Is it Psycho Sid?
No, it's not Psycho Sid.
All right,
Good
Mr.
guess.
Guest, or special guest.
Hold on.
Ask the question.
There's a lighter for you, Rue.
Who's Rue?
Or your special guest. There's your light for you.
Does your wrestler wear black tights?
Yes.
Ooh. 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 Oh.
Stop repeating. Ooh.
Is your
Go on, TikTok.
is your wrestler a Southern gentleman?
No, he's not a Southern gentleman. No.
All right, Mr. Lane.
Okay. I'll throw a curveball to this. Is this person part of the Authority?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I know who it is. Is the wrestler Triple H?
That would be correct.
Yes.
I'm itching my nose, pointing to my nose like 3 or 4 times if you weren't looking at the screen. No.
That was a good one. I was gonna get it eventually because of the faction thing in the '90s, but not in NWO. He was a tag champs once.
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe he was with Shawn Michaels in 2009 when they reformed DX.
That's right.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Gentlemen.
Yeah.
What is the reason why?
Wait. What did you say? What was that word you just said?
I said, gentlemen.
No, after that.
What is the reason why?
Wait. Why do you say why like that?
Well, it's pronounced WHY, which is why. Why has it been this long? Okay, that's why has it been this long to have me back, guys? What have I done? What have I done? What have I done to hurt you? What have I done?
Let me ask you something. What is my brother who's not here currently done to get blocked? basically.
Yeah.
Let me also add that
Okay.
you also blocked me on Twitter. You blocked me as well.
I did.
Yes.
And for good reason.
Why is that?
You don't celebrate Wednesday wrestling night, and I realize that you guys do not celebrate Wednesday wrestling night. You're ignorant, you're rude, and quite frankly, I just thought that you didn't care for me. So I said, hey, Ryan's rude, you're ignorant, and you don't celebrate the wrestling night of the week, which is Wednesday. So I said, the heck with yous, and I blocked you for good reason.
All right. Well, enjoy your 14 followers. So.
I will. At one of them, at one time was Jim Ross. He followed me after I blackmailed him. I threatened to show pictures. Well, we won't get into that, but he was a follower.
Yes, you know who the professional wrestler Wilbur Schneider is.
I do, and if you don't, you're a jackass. You should know who Wilbur Schneider is, Steve. Steve, listen, Steve, I'm gonna throw a name. I'm gonna throw a name at you, Steve. All right?
Okay, go ahead, guest.
Ed Strangler Lewis.
I've heard of him, yes, I've heard the name.
Have you ever seen him work, Steve?
No, I never saw him work, no.
You're not on the level, and you might be on my block list next. You're not on my level, and the fact that you don't know that, you are not a true wrestling fan. You are a true jackass.
You know who the wrestler Biff is.
You are a jackass, Steve.
Let him talk. What did you say, Steve?
You don't know the wrestler Biff Busick? You're a disgrace to the wrestling community.
Everyone knows who he is. He's the manliest man.
Yeah, an indie-rific spot monkey that knows two holds, no psychology, and quite frankly couldn't wipe my ass. You know, he can't do a headlock. He ain't. You know, it's. I'm not gonna get into it, but I will say that I'm blocking the world tonight, boys.
All right, Mr. Special guest, thank you. You know, it's 10:02 here on the East Coast. We're all from the East Coast anyway, but that's all I had. So let's go into final thoughts here. Yeah, I think that's all I had. Yeah. So anyway, thank you for you guys for coming on. My final thought is, I could just get this down here, it is March Madness season, as you can see in the background. That is March Madness, and all I have to say is, go Wildcats! Right there. There's the V. There's that V, and hopefully we'll bring home.
Yeah, we know what you do in the Villanova bathroom. We know.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, Steve went there. Steve went.
All right, Mr. Z, your final thoughts.
I don't have much to say. Good show. It was good to see an old face tonight, and happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
All right, thank you, Z, and Mr. Page.
I just want to say thank you again for having me on here. And if this real Mark guy is watching, I doubt he is, but if he happens to see this, it was our special guest tonight. It was all in fun, I will say. It was not meant to be hurtful.
All right. Well, let me just say that I don't know what he's just said there. This is just a special guest we're having on the show here. So, Mr. Rude, special guest, if you'd like to give your final thoughts.
Well, guys, if this is my final appearance on the show, I'd like to say it's been real, it's been fun, but unfortunately, Juicy, it hasn't been real fun. I want to thank Mr. Page. I want to thank Mr. Lane, and I want to thank you, Juicy. Those are the people I thank.
All right.
And those are the true wrestling fans, even though I've said otherwise. Those are the three in this room. The 4 humans, additionally with me, plus you 3 that I named, are the humans. Wrestling fans, and we are family. Like the song says, thank you guys, peace, love, and barbecue sauce. Boomer sooner. Boomer. Sooner.
Mr. Lane, your final thoughts.
Well, I'm looking forward to next week's show. Quite frankly, I just got my ESPN baseball preview issue on the ESPN magazine. So
mine came in today. I didn't get to read it. No spoilers.
I'm not going to spoil. I want to talk about it next week, if I may.
Who's on the cover?
Yes.
Stanton's on the cover. Stanton's on the cover.
Dan.
Okay, yes. But I look forward to talking baseball, and I look forward to talking WrestleMania next week. So I'm ready for next week's show. That's all I got to say. And welcome back, Z. Welcome back, Mr. Z. So,
where's my welcome back, Mr. Lane?
Welcome back to I forget your name.
Mystery guest. All right. Anyway.
It doesn't matter what your name is. I had to do that.
Wow, that was great, Mr. Lane. Threw a little Rocky, Dwayne the Rock.
I had to do that, guys.
By the way, he's hosting SNL next week before WrestleMania. Should be funny.
I heard.
All right, guys.
Yeah, the only time I will watch it, I will watch.
He is, in all sense of the word, he is an entertainer. He's great to watch. Anything he does, movies, comedy, anything, he's good. So anyway, but besides him showing up at WrestleMania, because if he does that, I will boo him again, just like I did last time. But that wasn't his fault. That was Roman Reigns and WWE's fault. But anyway, all right, guys, thanks for joining us.
I bet you did.
What?
I bet you cheered him in Miami, though.
I did. I absolutely did. I love The Rock. I just was upset at what happened at Rumble. That's all. That's why I booed. But anyway, I wasn't alone in that sentiment. Okay, so I wasn't the only one. But anyway, guys, have a great St. Patrick's Day and a great March. We'll see you guys next week. I want to have a show because there's a lot going on. WrestleMania, the baseball season. So we'll do a little preview show there. And hopefully Mr. Ryan can join us and make the show next week. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining. Have a good week, and right on.